Welcome students to your Summer Bridge Week 1 recap. So basically we're going to start off with the basics with the 3-2-1 rule. The 3-2-1 rule is basically when the teacher calls out attention in 3, 2, 1, and the teacher should expect 100% attention from all the students when he gets to the number 1. When he counts down, you should have your eyes on the teacher, all utensils down, and make sure your partner is focused. How you can make sure your partner is focused, if they're not, you can just go ahead and calmly just tap them in the shoulder, direct them to the teacher without saying any words. Having the 3-2-1 rule, it should show that you are focused and ready to learn. On task means that you are paying attention, and being on task can help you be more engaged, it can help you learn more, and you can take better notes and complete better homework. Off-task is considered as any communication during a lecture, which can mean verbal or nonverbal. So you can be talking, which is verbal, and nonverbal is just kind of looking over to your friend or using your hands for communication. Borrowing materials is considered off-task because it causes distraction to your peers because you're taking time to ask them for a utensil, and you're wasting learning time because the teacher has to wait for the 100% attention. Laughing and giggling is considered off-task. Rude comments, having your head down and not paying attention, not being ready for a code call, which is when a teacher randomly selects a student to answer a question that they had time to discuss. And not having a transition less than 30 seconds from task to task, which is basically when you're doing an item, an activity, and the teacher asks you to change to a different activity, you have 30 seconds to complete that. Reasons to get a phone call. Having no homework or having partial homework, when partial homework includes missing only one problem too. Not being in dress code, which includes having your polo, having the correct undershirt, you're having your khaki pants, your belt, and everything that goes along with the uniform. Being off task can leave you to a phone call. Having no materials, failing your quiz or test, defiance, excessive talking during a lecture, unexcused tardy, or having or using non-academic items. But remember, with failing a quiz or test, that means that you get a phone call, but it will not amount to the consequences of getting a phone call. So the reason of getting a phone call for failing a quiz or test is just to inform your parents that you failed the quiz. It's not to punish you.
The following are the consequences of receiving a phone call. The first phone call will result in a detention. The second phone call will result in detention and meeting with the teacher. The third phone call will result in detention and phone call home from teacher. The fourth phone call will be detention and parent shadow. And the fifth phone call will be detention and parent meeting with the teacher. Notice that these are only the rules that apply for Summer Bridge. Throughout the school year, the rules will be slightly different. Survey is a very important strategy used when reading a text. Survey is used before reading an article or any text. You should use text features to develop an exciting purpose for reading. By quickly scanning the text, you can see interesting phrases and keywords that will create a motivation for your reading. When you're scanning the text, you want to look out for bold and italic words, titles, subtitles, and headers, and graphics. Talking to the text is very important and helps you understand the text. You can do strategies that include circling, highlighting, and brightening up key phrases, commenting on margins of main points. So for example, at the end of each paragraph on the margins, you can summarize in 2 to 3 bullet points the main ideas. You can write questions, you can make predictions, you can make connections, and you can visualize. Mr. Vargas's welcome letter was introduced to you the beginning day of Summer Bridge. It explained his struggles and the learning disability. He was not able to process information as fast as all the other students could. His friends were not very supportive, which proved to be very difficult. to him because he needed friends during that time. He also grew up in Inglewood, which means he was no different from us. He grew up the same way we did. He is a college professor, so he teaches teachers. So we know that we can trust him because not only does he teach students, but he teaches teachers. And he's also a music producer and makes music for many famous artists that you know today. The tardy policy goes as follows. You're considered tardy when you're not in your seat when the bell rings, even if you're 1 minute late. So let's say class starts at 7:20. If you come in at 7:21, you're considered late. I suggest that you try getting here about 10 minutes before class starts, and that'll ensure that you're not late to class.
Quiz expectations. Always write your name, date, and period. No talking is allowed or getting out of your seat. Protect your work with your elbow to prevent any cheating. Any distractions will be considered cheating. Always raise your hand if you need anything. Mistakes should be seen as excitement. As the example given from Vargas, the baby example, it shows how a baby doesn't give up after every mistake it makes. It's actually encouraging the baby to continue and improve its mistakes. Geniuses do not fear mistakes. They embrace them and look forward to them because they get to figure out what they could improve on and have more time on improving those things. Consider mistakes another opportunity because you get to retry what you did or start all over your project or anything you're trying to do, and start clear because you get to know where your mistakes are and where you could improve. Instead of focusing on your grades, try focusing on learning because from there on you will start noticing the improvements in your grades. The purpose of a reflection is not to make you feel bad, but to allow you to build and learn from your mistakes. Instead of throwing away your test after receiving it, find someone who did better than you and get to know where your mistakes were, and you could get to learn from them more. Reflections allow you to improve on your mistakes and find areas in which you need help in.
Some examples of a bad reflection is that it is very short and brief. Bad reflections are non-specific and have a negative outlook. They also don't include the use of vocabulary words and they don't explain how they can improve. A good reflection includes a variety of vocabulary words and has a positive attitude toward their mistakes. A good reflection also addresses every problems of confusion and the correct answer. Study skills are included to show how they will have improvement for next time.
So the importance of having an organized binder is so you can have easy access to your notes. It's also an easy way to help study by getting that easy access. It'll also be less stress for when the teachers ask you for random binder checks throughout the school year. A lesson we learned recently was about prodigies. The definition of prodigy is a young child who could complete very complex tasks that mostly only adults could do. These tasks vary in such as singing, composing, athletics, academics, and many other things. But absolutely anyone can do it. Anyone is capable of being a prodigy. Prodigies aren't born that way. You have to remember that. They develop by learning from their mistakes and always striving to do their best. So there are many definitions of success. Everyone has a completely different view of success. But anyone can achieve success by continually practicing and just striving to do your best without letting mistakes serve as a barrier. Also, by continuing to do what you know will lead to internal happiness. Although 98% of people believe that success leads to happiness, um, this isn't true. 2% of the population actually believe that happiness leads to success, and that 2% are the world's billionaires and millionaires.
Messi is one of the successful soccer players in the world. Plays for one of the best teams in the world, known as Barca in Spain. He's very humble and does not enjoy getting all the attention at the same time. Although he's successful, he continues striving and always wants to learn with his soccer skills. He's a part of the 2% of the 100% of people, while the 98 don't think like the 2%, which are the geniuses. So the geniuses, which are the 2%, think of as happiness to lead to success, instead of the 98% thinking that it's success to happiness. He feels happiness and finds success in making others people happy. Serves a cause greater than himself. Heroes. Heroes went through struggles like any other person would in hard life and poverty, like Messi and other geniuses. He learns from his struggles and does not avoid challenges like any other person would. He wasn't known at first, and he enjoyed doing what they do. He enjoys what he does, which is playing soccer, Messi, and he's passionate about it. And he donates most of his time to help others, which some geniuses have foundations, and they never give up. Lecture criteria for success. The following are the lecture expectations. S equals sit up straight. L is lean forward. A is activate your brain. N means note take, and T is track the speaker. Sitting up straight helps you maintain focus because it brings more oxygen to the brain and helps your spine. Hi, good morning. My name is Gerardo, and I'm here to help you what you guys have missed in the past week. One things you missed was a fixed mindset. They are hold of the beliefs that people are born the way they are. They avoid challenges and stick to what they know in order to avoid failure. They avoid challenges by making up excuses such as it was boring so I couldn't or didn't learn it, or I could have, but they do not enjoy criticism from other people and they really take it personally. You can improve. They don't think they could improve even though they tried. Intelligence, personality, and talents are limited to the people who have fixed mindset. Growth mindsets. Growth mindsets are the people that believe that intelligence can be developed. They also embrace challenges and setbacks and do not discourage them. They consider criticism a form of help and appreciate it as well because they are giving them information how to improve. They also strive to become better. And 98% of the people are fixed mindset because they don't think they can improve. But the 2%, like millionaires, athletes, and famous people, think they are growth because they know that they can improve. That they can improve. Mind maps. Mind maps are maps that help you spread your ideas across the paper. They are not meant to be dulled because the more writing and the more duller your notes are, the more probability you'll forget the information. Make sure it is creative, colorful, and includes pictures. If you add a lot of color and graphics, it will be more likely that you will remember the information. The mind map is based on you. The branches can include the things such as your goals, aspirations, fears, family, hobbies, likes and dislikes, etc.